everybody, and welcome to another excellent podcast. It's another Thursday, or whatever day you listen to it. And joining me, as always, is the... I'm not going to say lovely.
That's your special word.
That is my special word. I'm going to say hairy Turch.
Thank you. You know, my partner's a dog groomer, and I keep making the joke, do you do wogs as well as dogs? And she really hates that joke, so next time you see her, you know which joke to make.
Cha-ching. Well, I will make that joke when she comes for the season finale.
Season finale party.
A guest on the couch.
A guest on the couch. That'll be the second time she's a guest on the couch.
The first was really a pilot.
That's right. That's right.
She was testing. She fell asleep. I threw something at her.
No, she was doing the Instagram thing that girls like, the Pinterest, as you called it, on the episode.
Oh, dear God.
She was doing that. And then, and then she did some number things for us about the number 13. And you said the number 13 was good for the Asians or something. You know. This
is going to be a very racist show. I can feel it. I'd like to introduce someone. He's sitting to my left and eating some cheese.
I knew you were going to wait until I got the cheese.
Welcome to the show.
His name is R Pow, also known as Ryan.
Who's your co-host?
I have a co-host?
On your show, on your cooking show.
Oh, shit, we're bringing that up.
It's been a little while since we filmed one, so he's obviously forgotten about it.
Yes. Yeah, well, we'll talk about the cooking show in a moment. But more importantly, he's from Trudgetown.
Trudgetown?
And Trudgetown have their own caps, and we don't have caps, but we will get spoons.
Yeah, well, you've been talking up those spoons for a very long time, Kieran. I have not seen, not even a whisper, an essence of these spoons, apart from the fact that the spoon industry is down in Vietnam at the moment.
There's a fun study about spoons. Let me pull it up on my computer so someone else has to talk.
Is it from Spoon U?
Maybe.
Gosh, I'm just riveted already. So tell me, where do you get custom spoons? Like, is this something you've researched?
Yeah.
Is this doable?
When I went over to Vietnam...
Do you know... I was about to say, do you know a guy in Vietnam?
I know a guy in Vietnam.
You've got a guy in Vietnam who gets you guys, don't you? Not like that, like... You know,
I've got a Seinfeld.
It's a man's man.
A gum guy. A gum guy.
Gotta have a gum guy.
You gotta have a gum guy. I'm not sure if I've brought this up previously, but I'm going to bring it up. Researchers did a study, and it was called The Case of the Disappearing Spoons, and it was a longitudinal study.
Yeah, this is the one about the universities, and they lost all the spoons and stuff like that.
80% of the 70 teaspoons disappeared during the study.
And we discussed this.
Yeah,
we discussed
did.
it.
Oh, well, there you go. Check out that podcast.
Check out. I can't remember what episode it is, but I think it's episode 8 or 9, one of those two.
Yeah, something like that. Now, normally I would have a rant.
No, but you outsourced it.
But I have,
again,
as the CEO of this podcast, I've outsourced it because that's what a good CEO does.
Wait a minute. I thought it was you today. I'm doing the rant?
You're doing the rant. Our guest is doing the rant.
His ass is doing the rant.
Which is very exciting.
Yep. I'm excited because
has Ryan...
You know why? Because we were drunk on Sunday night, enjoying our good long weekend, and you were using Siri for the first time. And I got a message from you. Do you want to see I'm going to read the message I got from you, from Siri, before Ryan has a bit of a rant here.
Hang on a second.
So let me get this out. It says,
"Hey Siri." Oh shit! I've got to turn
I'm going to read the message.
I've got to turn the volume on. Hang on a second. No. Hang on. Hey Siri. Why isn't it? Oh, it talked. Remind me to punch Turch in the face in 5 minutes.
Okay, I added punch Turch in the face to your reminders. It's due in 5 minutes.
Thank you, Siri.
Well, I'll just read the message that he sent me. Fuck you all, and the suck my penis in the toilet in the Williams area, and I'm talking about in the bum hole, all of the Bible to go pick up the bum hole and bigger.
What?
I don't know.
But Siri sent that,
really
not
let
me.
You down. Really
no. It says Bible. That's definitely from you.
Definitely from you.
That's your calling card.
Without fail, and it's mentioned in every episode of this podcast.
But on that night when you sent me that message, we invited Ryan onto the podcast quite drunkenly, and it was fantastic. But he said very loudly at the front of the house, I have a rant. I can do it. So, Ryan.
And that's right. And then I, as a smart CEO, went, right, I'm outsourcing.
Well, I felt like I'd been cut a little bit deep. It was still very fresh.
Yep.
The wound.
Do we need sad music here?
I can put some sad music in here.
Please do.
Jabari's theme.
Jabari.
It's going to be more of like a general rant about people who do favors and when you cross a line of it not being a favor anymore. You know?
It's like
So-
soup's not a meal.
Oh, look, we don't talk about that
Soup is a
anymore.
lie. But more specifically, the thing that came up for me was I left a dinner at work. I'd taken in my dinner, and that was the last day I was going to be there for like 3 weeks.
Now,
So I'm like, it's not going to hold in the fridge.
I know it doesn't matter to our American listeners, but is this the large workplace that you work at, or the smaller workplace that you work at? Without giving away details of where you work.
In case people hunt me down.
Yeah.
The larger workplace.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm not going to be there for like 2.5 weeks.
Yeah.
And I had this leftover sauce. It was beautiful. I didn't want to go to waste. I'd already had one go to waste. Mm-hmm.
Tell me about the sauce.
I don't want to get on any tangents tonight.
No details, Kieran.
Tell me about the sauce. I mean, was
no bogging
it
details.
was
It was homemade. I made it. I was very proud of it, and I'd already had to throw one out because
what flavour?
Red.
wine and Italian herbs.
Oh,
That's
brilliant.
imported.
Yeah,
My nonna would be proud.
How did you make it?
with a pan.
No, we'll call it recipes with Ryan. What did you do?
Hey, if you want that, you got to tune into our show.
Yeah, that's part of that show.
I got to save something for our show.
You've never brought it into Gourmetgoring.
We've dabbled in combining pasta like spaghetti with our migraine.
Mm-hmm. But not the
we gotta
sauce that you
save
talk about.
Kieran,
Yes.
shut up for a minute.
I tell you what, Kieran. Next time I make a batch, I'll put some aside
There we go.
for an episode.
It's ready to go.
Is that
But-
what you wanted?
Yeah.
So you had the sauce at your work and you're about to go on holiday.
Yeah. So I've left work. I was meeting with my girlfriend. She had a bad day, and so we were just going to hit up the city. So I asked a friend from work if she could take it home with her, and then I'll just pick it up later. So
Risky.
So you're asking for a favour.
yeah. So that's the favor. Can you please just take it home with you, chuck it in your fridge? I'll grab it like tomorrow. And I rocked up the next morning. I didn't pack a lunch for my other work, so I'm like, I'm going to have this pasta. It's going to be my lunch. It's going to be fucking awesome. And then I get there, pasta's gone, sauce is nearly gone. And I'm like, did she eat that?
Now, if you had texted me to pick up your sauce,
He would have eaten it.
it would have been gone.
Well, that's because I know my market there. But I was not expecting it from her. I'm like, that's a little cheeky. And kind of undercuts the whole favor of can you bring home the pasta if you're just going to eat it yourself. I still end up with no pasta.
There's a bit of a tax there. To be fair,
Tax is usually what, 10%?
It's about 10%.
Yeah, I think I had about 10%.
Okay, so she obviously went beyond the favour of 10%.
Now,
Now,
I think the
she's
thing
an
is-
entrepreneur, so 30% tax. That's fair enough.
No, so I think what she's usually with a favor. I think this is where you're going with this. Before we get bogged down in details of taxation, and the only person not talking about is the accountant. I think what you're thinking. All right, look, if you put that, if you hold it for me and I pick up the next day, I'll do a favor back for you. Of a similar nature, of a similar, you weren't gonna go, oh yeah, and eat it. Like that wasn't part of the deal.
Yeah. Like, it's not a favor anymore. If you've eaten the sauce
It's
and
just
I
like,
end up
hey,
with no sauce.
You've just eaten my lunch.
Yeah, pretty much. Can you do me a favor? Can you eat this awesome sauce for me?
And I would do that. I would do that.
And it
As
gets
a
me-
good friend, I would do that.
Sometimes I think in situations like that, like when do you cross the threshold of it not being a favor anymore? It's kind of like I mentioned this to my girlfriend. She didn't agree with me here.
Yep.
Asking for a lift from the airport. If they're 40 minutes late, is that still that big? Like, sure, they're still going to pick you up, but it's like it's kind of diminishing the favor a bit. It's like I would have just called an Uber instead of waiting my ass around for 40 minutes.
There's a variable there. Are they getting you any duty free? Because if
Sorry?
you're picking them up and they're getting you duty free,
No, this is the other way around. I'm asking to get picked up, Yeah, and I'm standing around waiting for
And
40
that Kieran
minutes.
wants duty free.
So you've
So I've asked for a lift. and-
your airplane's arrived, and you're basically saying, "Kieran, pick me up," and I'm about 40 minutes late, which never happens. I'm never late.
No. Kieran is always there for an on-time arrival.
That's right, within the margin of error.
Wizards and Kieran are never late.
Yeah, he just runs on Perth time, so that's about 3 hours behind. So if you say 7 o'clock,
And
what
3 centuries.
what happens is he actually means to him that means
My
10
God,
o'clock.
that actually explains so
Yeah,
much.
it does, doesn't it?
Turch, when have I ever been late?
Okay, this is why we do the podcast at your house and not at my recording studio.
Well, I rocked up and I saw Turch, and I'm like, "Where's Kieran?"
Yeah, it's true. I must say, I rocked up here and Kieran was busy getting today's sponsor.
That's right. Tonight's sponsor, or today's sponsor, or this morning's sponsor, whenever you're listening, is McCain Chicken Parmigiana. It's the succulent crumb chicken in a rich tomato sauce, topped with cheddar cheese, served with farm-picked vegetables. That's McCain's 100% chicken breast, made from quality.
Made from quality.
Mm-hmm.
What type of, what part of the chicken's that?
Look, it doesn't say, but there are no.
I'm reading the front of the box.
There
It's
are no
100% chicken breast.
There are no artificial colours or or maybe if I turn it around. 2.5 serves of vegetables per meal, and our recipe is simple.
That was 2.5 serves of vegetables.
Yeah, it was. Good for starts from real ingredients. That's McCain. You've done it again.
I can't remember the last time I did someone a favour that I didn't like reciprocate. You know what I mean? Like usually just...
I always feel awkward on the other side if somebody's asked me for a favor, and then I feel like I'm sort of letting down the favor contract, like the social contract of a favor.
Yeah, it's a bit of both, because you feel like if you do someone a favor, like you get that bit of good karma. At the same time,
I get it's like a slippery slope and you can fall either way.
Yeah, that's right.
It's not
But
cut and dry.
okay, like some little things, if I care, whatever, put it to the side. But like in the same sense, like you expect that respect, that favor, mafia style. Just you do something for me.
To pay it forward.
Yeah, you do something for me, I do something for you, and then we just do that, and then it's time to go home.
Mm-hmm.
That's how we do it. But I totally agree. I think that this person stepped over the line with eating your lunch.
That was my last one as well.
Ugh.
See, now this is the thing, right? If there's a few people that you would say, if you ask them to do that, you know that meal's going to be eaten, and you wouldn't be upset. You've got a history with that person. You know that they would probably eat it, and well, at least...
Kieran is just making sure that it is recorded.
Do not give Kieran food to mind. He's like a dog, he just eats it.
If it happens in the
Quality
future, he'll be
control.
like, "You all knew. You were warned." Play the episode.
But holy shit, we can do that. But this person, obviously, you underestimated.
Yes.
Does
I would put it that way, yes.
Well, what does this person have for lunch usually?
Salad, I guess, or a pad thai. Some kind of curry.
Takeaway pad thai, takeaway curry.
No, she makes her own.
It's a girl?
Her own stuff. Yes.
She has sushi. Girls love sushi.
No. That's Matt, although he does act like a bit of a girl sometimes.
Yeah, well, there you go.
But if they're not eating, if they take away, then of course they would eat your food. If they actually make food,
she's not a takeaway kind of person.
Then they would eat your
very
food
healthy.
because it's homemade.
This topic.
I'll take it as a bit of a compliment actually that she did eat it, because she does eat very healthy food. So I must have done well.
Homemade sauce and pasta is pretty healthy, I would say.
Always look for the silver lining.
That's true.
Look for the compliment and everything.
That's right. Turch,
Yes,
do you have an article for us?
I have a ripper of an article for you this week. So I've been looking for a property to purchase to live with my lovely girlfriend. And so I've been keeping up with all the real estate news.
Mm-hmm.
And I found this one fantastic.
What type of property?
A house.
A house? Okay, so not a townhouse.
Not a houseboat.
Ooh,
No,
a
you
houseboat
don't-
would be good.
Nah, Jess gets seasick. So, property owner accidentally uploads a naked selfie to a real estate agent's site. A body-confident homeowner accidentally uploaded a naked selfie to a real estate agent's website after snapping his nude reflection while taking sale pics. So this guy basically...
When the moment strikes you and the lighting is right.
Well, look, basically this guy, told local media that he was cleaning his property, and he was asked by the real estate agent to take photos of. This is in Singapore, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
So,
And it's in his house. Damn right he should be
that's
naked.
right. So what he did was he cleaned the whole house to get ready for these photos. To cool off,
Mm-hmm.
he got completely naked.
Yep.
And then took a photo of his place, and this photo was on the site for over a month before before the real estate agent website took it down. So I've actually got a picture of it, and I actually took it in color. Who would? I'll give it to Kieran because I know.
Give it to our guest. Give it to our guest.
He knows his. Kieran never gets bogged down in detail. So
No,
tell me what you see.
I think Ryan should do it, and
Fine.
then we'll get bogged down in the details.
Kieran, I would love to see you get bogged down in that penis.
All right. Well, here it is. We have I was thinking an apartment with windows all around, but that's not what we have. We have
Well, apparently it offers attractions including a balcony and air conditioning, but it's now been taken off the market.
okay, so we've got some pictures of the family. You never have pictures of the family when you're trying to sell your house. I think
Or just never have pictures of your family.
yeah, I think that's a bed. When I was in Vietnam, we stayed in an apartment, someone's apartment. They went there.
Soundtrack, Kieran.
And no, I am. And I slept in the bed, and it was so hard. Like the mattress was so thin, and you just felt the wooden planks underneath you. And that's what this bed looks like.
Yep.
You've got a chest of drawers. I think that's that looks like shampoo.
For the podcast listeners, it's getting close to his face. He's really looking for that penis now. It's like a Where's Waldo?
Now this dress of drawers has it's quite cluttered. Has a mirror on it, and this person, and it's blurred out, and this person is naked.
And it's right in the corner of the picture.
It's right in the corner of the picture, and you wouldn't notice it straight away looking at the picture because it's a little bit to the side. But yes, now it's very obvious, Ryan.
You're asking me how obvious it is?
No, I'm asking you to describe the picture.
You've just done that. Well, there's a bed.
Yeah. Does the bed look comfortable?
It looks pretty hard.
Yeah.
Very firm. That's the bed I'm talking about.
So apparently a friend of his actually saw the picture first and warned him, and then he contacted the real estate agent to get the picture taken down. But apparently the property was up for a month and hadn't been sold. I wonder why.
A hard bed. That's why.
I don't think the bed comes with the house. I've got to say that's some really, really tacky. I feel like tacky bed sheet. That's really, really terrible.
Oh look, Siri reminded me to punch you in the face 7 minutes ago.
And he forgot completely.
Thank you very much.
Oh, that's all right. Thanks for not punching me in the face.
It's only because it would involve getting up.
Yeah, it's true. He's pretty bad at that. He was too busy discussing the ups and downs of stealing people's food when someone asked them to mine their food.
That's a very interesting, concept.
Social dilemma.
Social dilemma, that's it.
Kieran, what have you got for us on that side of the table?
Bride Amber Young. Oh, that must be your name. Bride Amber Young. There needs to be a comma there. There's no... Anyway. Bride Amber Young arrested for driving under the influence on her way to her wedding.
Oh, I saw this today.
Yes, a bride has been arrested on her way to her own wedding and charged with driving under the influence. The bride was pictured being put into the back of a police car while...
There we go.
That is about a... I'm going to give that a 6 out
That's
of 10.
really good.
Needed,
Pop out another one.
needed to be more bass.
I'll pump
I'm
it
all
up.
about
I'll
that
pump it up.
bass.
I'll pump it up when I
More
do
bass.
the editing.
No treble.
Yeah, 6 out of 10 for that one.
Thank you.
The bride was pictured being put into the back of a police car while in her wedding dress after being pulled over. It is not clear why the 32-year-old was on her own as she was headed towards her wedding, but she is said to have been involved in a 3-vehicle crash on the way there. She was handcuffed and put into the back at approximately 10:30 a.m. Who's wearing their bride dress at 10:30?
Brides.
No, brides don't.
Drunk brides.
Yeah.
Don't most brides get married at like 5 o'clock?
Yeah, but they do the photos and all that sort of dress
but
up in bullshit.
That's like at 3.
Nah, you'd be surprised, mate.
Yeah, a lot of people have been doing it before the ceremony.
Get
The
it
photos?
done.
Yeah.
Yeah, get it done.
Really? Instead of after? That's probably more efficient.
Yeah. Because they all look good. It's the freshest they look.
So that
The
means
morning sun's actually really good for photos because you got
You get a bit of that ominous kind of
less
mist
glare,
coming in.
less glare. I don't know.
Yeah.
because that means that the wedding can actually start at like 6 o'clock, and then you can go straight into the reception. You
Yeah,
don't have to wait.
yeah. That's why a
around.
lot of them do that. Instead of having the big break in the middle, like instead of having like a 2 o'clock ceremony and then like a 7 o'clock dinner with like 5 hours to burn, like 4 hours to burn in the middle, they just do. Oh, you'll do the photos, this and that. At the end of the day, get it going.
Do you know what's really terrible?
What?
I am wearing a jumper, and it's not quite winter yet.
Yeah, it was nice and cold this morning. It was quite nice.
Anyway.
The afternoon turned out alright. I'm just amazed that usually. See, this just proves that women shouldn't drive. No,
Hey-o.
no, but like on a wedding day, like the bride usually wants to have a couple of drinks and dance and this and that. Usually they get picked up. Like, why is she driving her own car to her own wedding?
I know.
That's really confusing to me.
It was unknown whether she made it to the wedding or not.
I don't
If
think
she's
she
having
did.
pre-drinks, she's clearly got some reservation.
I pre-drink at every wedding.
And every wedding you're like, should I be rocking up?
I got the suit on. Better go.
But yeah, no, good. Look, maybe it was a low-budget wedding.
Well, yeah, I guess so. But
Ryan, describe what she looks like to our lovely listeners.
she looks lovely.
She's tall, leggy,
Yep.
blonde.
Don't get bogged down in the details, by the way.
The cop car looks very clean, well kept after.
Mhm.
The tires they're not low on the pressure. That's good. Is that a female officer as well?
That is a female officer.
You gotta be gentle on a morning like that.
Mm-hmm. Obviously, the female officer's never been married.
Oh, God damn it.
Please tell me how you Sherlocked to that conclusion.
Oh, she's arresting a bride on her wedding day.
Is it saying she's bitter?
Yeah. Her name's probably Shaniqua.
Jesus Christ.
This is satire.
of the highest. You know what? Jess actually sent me an article, and she goes, "Read this article."
To be honest, that may or may not be a wedding dress. It looks like a wedding dress.
Women just don't go around wearing wedding
it
type
could just be-
dresses.
no, but-
Yeah,
Look at
no,
it.
it could be just like a summary kind of dress.
It could be.
I'll pay that.
Could have been a low.
Could have gone either way.
A low
That
news
is
day.
a wedding dress.
Slow news day.
Oh. Speaking of photos, Jess sent me this article. There's meant to be we read it and we thought it was satire, but it was about how
Please tell me it's about the dog wearing a cap.
that was great. But Jess sent me this thing and it was like girls like getting angry that their friends don't take good photos of them for Instagram. Like, I take the best photos of my friends for their Instagram and they take shit photos of me. And the whole article was about
The whole favour thing.
yeah, favorite thing. And it's like, don't ever get them again. Just get your phone and a tripod or set it down somewhere and set a timer and do what you need to do. And I'm like, how is this satire? And it wasn't. It was a completely legit article and people like 20-year-olds and 18-year-olds looking at it go, oh my God, this is so me, and tagging all their friends. I thought it was satire. I don't even know what satire is anymore. It's just blurring. It's like when you read The Onion.
The We Only Do One Take podcast is satire.
Yeah, I know.
As the CEO, I've made that clear in our policy.
In our policy.
Yeah,
Policy
it's the
documents.
kids who are wrong.
Yeah.
Now, I don't get social media. I don't understand social media.
I know, that's why I run the Facebook page.
Look, I only figured out like 3 weeks ago actually how to probably share it from our page.
Well done, I'm very impressed.
Thank
you. Very impressed.
Thank you very much. If you need any social media undertakings, contact me and
He'll never get back to you.
I don't know. I'll charge a fee and I'll outsource it to you.
Oh, that's great.
Business. That's how business works.
Yeah, well, you know.
And you take the 90% cut, right? And
That's
he gets
correct.
the 10%.
That's correct. Yeah, look, you've got to pay for all this equipment and you know,
All mine.
upkeep.
Ah.
Ryan, do you have an article?
Yeah,
for us?
right. Let's get to Ryan's article. We have another domestic on the podcast.
I found my article. I was like, oh shit, I need an article. I found it at 5 to 5 while taking a shit at work.
That's pretty good.
Whoa. Let's get. So you took a shit at 5 to 5 today?
Yep.
And then you got here to this recording studio and you took another shit.
I'm very impressed.
2 shits in the space of a few hours. What is going on with your digestive
I have a
system?
question.
I was going for pro numbers.
Question.
Yes.
Piss driblets? Did they occur?
I don't even know what that is.
You know when you pee and you shake and then you put it back in your pants and there's still something comes out,
There's still some driblets.
driblets. Does that happen to you?
After a shit or just in general?
Just when you piss.
It has happened.
Yeah, see?
Yeah,
Another one,
yeah.
It has
Confirmed.
happened.
It's not
Confirmed.
Confirmed. Anyway, what do you
Wait,
got for your article?
speaking of when I came and took a shit
Yeah.
in your house.
Yeah. Studio.
he owns that now.
Studio.
I was looking for the toilet paper.
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't know what came over me. I just didn't inherently trust a toilet that you tend to use to just be able to sit down and be like, oh, there will be toilet paper. I was like, I'm going to check first.
Yeah.
Looking around.
You checked.
It
No,
took...
but this is common. I had this argument, and this was an intellectual argument. Men look for... we won't go into a public toilet, right? We will check to make sure that there is toilet paper before we sit
Because
down.
nobody wants to get
Right.
caught out.
Apparently, this is a sample of 8 people, 5 guys, 3 girls.
That's almost representative.
Yeah, yeah. The girls will go in and then close the door, do their business, and then get stuck without toilet paper.
That's a whole Elaine Seinfeld episode. You can't even spare one square like that. No.
Yeah, but I just thought that's amazing. Ryan's just proved it again. Sample size has increased. He checked.
I always look. It's important.
I checked and I found it way up high, like on the top shelf, that like shelf thing that goes over your toilet.
Yeah. Well, there's
And
no
I thought,
toilet paper roll
like, that's
thing.
a really weird place for your toilet paper to be. And then I remembered, you're a stander, aren't you?
I am a stand-up.
So obviously, that's the most convenient place for you. You stand up and it's right there. I just kind of, my mind went to a place I didn't want it to, of you just kind of like bent, like hunched over, just leaning against this thing, just like getting in there real deep.
I don't turn around and face. I still
Ladies.
face the shower.
Ladies, he's
Wait,
single.
so you turn around
No,
to
no.
get to the toilet paper, then turn back around to wipe?
Yes. Is that not normal?
Ladies, if you are looking for a hot date for this Easter, please contact Kieran on the We Only Do One Take podcast email. It's weonlydoontakepodcast@gmail.com.
Have we had any emails?
Yes.
Because I don't check.
Hold on. What's that email address? I'm
can
going to
access
send you
it-
guys some stuff.
It's actually on the SoundCloud. You actually accessed it through the SoundCloud.
really?
Okay. Yeah, it's on there. Check it out. Anyway, so what was your article about
Oh,
again?
right, my article.
See, this is why we can get bogged down in details.
Okay, so my article is Facebook blocks Com Games driveway deals.
I don't know what that is. Please explain.
It took me about halfway through the article before I figured out
Right.
what exactly
So,
it
and
was,
you
but-
chose that one for this satire comedy website podcast.
Yes. So residents renting out their driveways for the Gold Coast Com Games on Facebook have had their enterprise shut down.
Oh, that's ridiculous.
You can charge a premium.
Yeah.
So I can't be
know,
bothered
that's-
actually reading it, so I'm just going to give you the gist.
Yeah, that's
Basically, this Facebook page is for people to rent out their driveway for people to park in,
Yeah.
for people coming into town
Yeah.
or wanting to get close. But for some reason, the council has deemed it like not lawful or something, and Com Games don't want their kind of image being sullied by people parking their cars or some shit. So yeah, they got shut down, and the owner is saying that screw those guys. He's just going to keep opening more Facebook pages.
Well, that's right. Is that
Here, stick it to the man.
So basically, people are renting out their own property via Facebook.
But just the driveway for people to park their
Yeah, but
cars.
that's fine. See, this
How much would you charge?
depending on where I lived,
Yeah, I mean, like, you're really close to you've got gold real estate.
me,
Yeah.
obviously,
Yeah.
being Jewish,
Yeah.
I don't know, per day.
Yeah.
I don't know if I didn't need the space, $20-$30 a day.
See, I'd charge 100.
No, you gotta be reasonable, I reckon.
Or just put a feeler out, see if you get any bites.
Yeah, I reckon start high.
Oh, I'll go $50. I'm happy with $50.
$100, and then I'd get like the local teenager and say I'll pay you $10 to wash their car.
What, every day?
Yeah, you park there, you get your car washed. $150 if you want it vacuumed.
Yeah, okay.
I'll pay the kid $15.
Yeah.
See, this is why I'm the CEO, Ryan.
This is where the money comes.
So far, we've made zero.
I think we're actually, if you put up all the costs, we're in debt.
Absolutely, yes. Nearly $12,000 of debt, I've heard.
That's fine. My first business was in debt as well. I mean, we weren't really trying to make I wasn't trying to make money. The partner apparently was. I think that was a bit optimistic. I was just here for the experience and the tax write-offs.
That's pretty good.
Here for the tax write-offs. No, what would you charge, Ryan?
I'd be happy with $50.
Yeah, I think 50 is a good.
50 cash.
Like that's money you wouldn't be getting otherwise. You're not giving up anything.
I just feel like the
Completely
government's
free money.
I think the government's just overstepping their boundaries there. Because
I reckon it's Com Games probably having some kind of stick in the mud, and they would have put pressure on the council, and that's why they're coming up with some excuse.
But even so, like that's just the government overstepping. You know, like
free speech. Overstepping free speech.
You know, if it's your property and you've paid all your taxes and your rates and your thing like that, you know, it's like renting out an extra room. Like if you've got an extra room, you should be able to rent it out. Like that's your property. You know, as long as you don't, you know, put the guy in a dungeon or something like that, it's fine. If they're just renting out their car driveway for $50, $100 a day, then
But technically, the
That's
letter
not-
of the law is if you're making that income, you got to be taxed on it.
yeah, that's fine. Except, you know, you don't have to.
So they got to be consistent with their
Turch,
rulings.
and Turch
I'm
would
happy for
declare
them-
it at tax time.
I'm sorry. I'm happy for them to be taxed on it, but I don't like the fact they're shutting down the opportunity to run that small business for themselves. That's what I'm opposed to. I'm also opposed to tax, but that's a different story altogether. Oh, well. No tax rants. We should have a bingo card that says all the things we can't talk about and they come up.
Tax in the Bible.
Tax, the Bible.
Actually, do you know what when we got our guests here for the last episode? We should give them a bingo card, which is like, Turch isn't allowed to say tax.
Yeah.
I'm not allowed to say anything religious.
Or the tax.
Or the tax.
Yeah.
Or tax the churches.
Yeah.
Or the Bible.
Yeah.
Yep. Or anything like that. I think we should do that.
While Kieran is having some cheese,
I'm going like this.
it's delicious. We're the most professional podcast ever. A bit more of that. A little bit of that.
There's cookies there as well.
Lovely. While we have something to eat and drink, I'd like to say that 2018, the best thing the best thing has happened,
Yeah.
and nothing else will top this in 2018.
Is this being recorded right now?
This is being recorded right now.
Okay, so you got me eating on
Absolutely.
the podcast.
I can just
shit.
silence it. It's fine.
You're about to put more food in your mouth anyway.
Oh
Oh god, just start raising another biscuit to your mouth.
I thought we were on a break. That's why I'm eating.
No, we're enjoying some lovely news while you eat. It's fine. I'll just edit this out. It's fine. I'll just edit out.
I was trying to make it. No, okay. Well, I'm eating.
Anyway, you're both Simpsons fans?
Yes.
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 So on Monday, the Merriam-Webster dictionary announced more than 850 words have been added to the online dictionary, and one of those was a word created by the Simpsons. Anyone want to have a guess of which word was added to the dictionary that was a Simpsons word that's not actually a word until...
I think when
2
I
days
hear
ago?
it, I'm gonna be like, yes, it's that one.
I'll give you guys a bit of a hint of where it came from, what episode.
Okay, shoot.
Okay, it's from season 7. In the
A good season.
good season from Lena the Iconoclast. The episode introduced the viewers to the cities of Springfield's motto, which was passed down from Jebediah Springfield.
Shelbyville.
And the motto was, "A noble spirit embiggens the smallest man."
Embiggens.
Embiggens is now officially in the Merriam-Webster's dictionary.
I'm going to use that this
It's
week.
great. And just to let you know what it means.
Is this a reputable dictionary?
Yeah, it's-
Is it like the Oxford?
Yeah. So, the big question is, what does it mean? And it just basically means to enlarge or enlarge. So, it begins the small. So, in that sentence,
Enlarges the small in spirit.
yeah. So, noble spirit enlarges the smallest man.
Yep. Oh, that's it. Yep.
Yep. So, I'm very happy. I'm a big Simpsons fan since I was a kid, up until about season 8 when Hank Scorpio's on there. Then there's no better episode than the Hank Scorpio episode. And if anyone says that I'm wrong, fight me in real
Lemon
life.
tree episode.
It's nah.
Lemon tree.
It's a good episode. It's no Hank Scorpio, in my opinion. But debate for another day.
Yes.
The problem is that they haven't included some other words from The Simpsons. So going on in that episode, Mrs. Krabappel goes, "Embiggens? I never heard that word before I moved to Springfield." And then Miss Hoover goes, "I don't know why. It's a perfectly cromulent word." Now, cromulent also isn't a word yet. Merriam-Webster, get on it.
The We Only Do One Take podcast, I bet you didn't know this, has its own dictionary. And
Say amenities.
And cromulent will be the first word added.
Now, there's only one other
Yes,
word.
dictionaries start with C.
And there's only one other word I could think of with The Simpsons of made-up words that really should be words.
Mm-hmm.
And that is from the first season of,
Oh, yeah.
of The Simpsons. Classic, super classic. And that word is quidgibo. Now, I don't know if you remember this episode where they're playing Scrabble at the beginning and
Yeah.
Bart puts down all his letters and spells quidgibo.
Yeah.
And he even gives the definition, which is a big, dumb, balding North American ape with no chin. And then Marge adds in, and a short temper. And then obviously Homer goes and chases Bart. But until cromulent and quidgibo are added to the dictionary, and Homer is also added under the word idiot, like in that's in the picture of Homer's there. It's a start Merriam-Webster dictionary, but there's still more work to be done.
Because you know how the things are added into the dictionary?
People vote for it.
Oh, is that what they do?
I thought you knew. I thought that's how it goes.
Wait, I didn't know that was a
100%
thing.
sure.
I haven't seen these votes.
Yeah.
Oh,
Can we just start a vote then?
I think we can.
I voted for
This
Station
sounds so much more accessible now.
McStation Face or whatever it was. For
Oh, Bodie McBoatface.
Bodie
and Sadie
McBoat. Yeah, for the Melbourne Tunnel.
Yeah.
No. They wait until people use. Well, this is what Oxford does anyway. They wait for people to use these words, so it's got to be used in mainstream society.
Yeah.
And then when the panel, whoever's on the panel, just goes, yes, this word has been used in mainstream society, we'll now add it.
Well, that's perfectly cromulent. I think that we'll be able to do this in the future.
We could have our own dictionary.
Well, if we just use the word cromulent enough and get big enough, then the We Only Do One Take podcast can say that we got the word cromulent into the dictionary.
Cromulent.
That sounds a bit sexy.
Cromulent.
I'm going to put so much reverb on that. It's going to sound disgusting.
I'm invading your mind. Subliminal messaging.
Kieran,
Yes,
got another article for us?
I do. Would you like 1, 2, 3, or 4? Pick a number, Ryan.
1.
You want 1? Why do you want 1?
7.
Okay. Ryan, you've been overseas.
That is true.
You've
You
been
were
to-
there a couple of times.
You've been to many hotels.
I have.
What is your favourite thing to steal from a hotel?
The batteries from a remote control.
Now,
It really
remind you,
fucks everybody over.
you might incriminate yourself here. You can't plead the fifth.
Favorite thing I like to steal is any alcohol from your bar fridge.
Ooh, good, it's good, it's good.
What can you pinch from a hotel room and the items you should never steal? Etiquette expert William has...
Okay, etiquette expert is saying I can steal things. First of all, what? Second of all, what can I steal?
I'm getting there. Etiquette expert William Hanson has revealed which items are okay to take and which you should leave alone.
So
All
what
right.
can we take?
Well, you can't take the TV.
Shocker.
Oh no.
But
So
you
what?
can take the remote.
No, you can take the remote batteries.
Well, according
You can take the remote and leave behind the batteries.
True.
It's
One or the other.
One battery and half remote.
well, no, the batteries is fine because it's in general it's okay to take items which are only going to be replaced anyway.
Yeah, exactly right. So you can bring all the toilet paper, the
gels.
Yeah,
So
the
the
gels.
booze is going to get replaced anyway.
The mini bar gone.
That's it. That's about it. This article seemed a lot more hilarious when I read it
On the
early
toilet.
this morning.
What's the weirdest thing that you guys have taken from a hotel? Like, have you taken anything funny?
Herpes. I'm kidding. I haven't actually.
How'd you get that? I was fucking the bed.
It's the first trip with Kieran.
Welcome to Vietnam.
Was Vietnam our first trip together? Ooh.
It was.
Oh, it's
There you go.
romantic.
I'm pretty sure Vietnam.
Do you have a guy there?
Vietnam is the only place we've been to together.
Yeah, there you go.
Well, sorry, Myanmar as well.
Oh, Myanmar, yes.
Do you have a,
yes.
do you have a guy there?
Yes, every time.
Same guy as Kieran, or do you get different guys?
We got a guy.
That's very
We
cromulent.
share a guy.
You just wanted to use that word.
I can't say I've taken anything weird from a hotel, but I got to stay at one, like work paid for one, and I must say I think I wasted more water than the lake had.
Oh, I absolutely, because there's always those little signs that say, like, please, hang your towel up and reuse it.
Nah.
I am just like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm paying for it.
Yeah.
You're washing my towels. And then I get really demanding as well, because I'm like, room service hasn't come and cleaned my room yet.
I feel like you're the type of guy that would grab the bathrobe and sit on the bed while you call room service, and room service come in and clean, and you're just watching while eating chocolates.
I can tell you that is absolutely the kind of guy he is.
Hey, I'm a paying customer. What? Now, you'll generally find me at the bar.
Yep.
Because you don't put on calories when you go overseas.
Is that true?
That is true.
Well, I'm about to go on a cruise, so...
What? How old are you? Like 50?
Yeah.
60?
Yeah.
70?
Yeah.
You're going on a cruise?
It's cromulent, so it's fine. No, like your parents are paying for it.
Oh.
I'm just paying for alcohol, and I'm just gonna buy myself.
Boo!
I'm just gonna buy an alcohol pass,
Yes.
so we're good to go.
They didn't buy you an alcohol pass?
No,
How long's this cruise?
10 days,
Yeah.
10 nights.
Okay.
Nights.
You're going with your partner.
Yeah,
So you're just having sex.
How much is the alcohol pass for 10 days?
I think it was $800, and I get cocktails in that.
Okay,
Do you get spirits?
that's
Yeah, spirits and cocktails.
under $100 you need to drink per night.
Yeah,
To me, yeah, that's totally
that's
doable.
very easy.
That's very doable.
Like, that's like 6 cocktails the whole day. So like, if I have a beer at lunch and a couple of beers around the pool, and then like 4 cocktails, that's like $200.
That's pretty
And
good.
a couple of scotches. Take it back to the room. Ready to go.
You could do it that way, or you could go for a high score, much as you can, 10 days of just blotto drunk. You know, if you want to get your money's worth.
I will absolutely get my money's worth. And I'll tell you all about that in season 2 of the podcast.
Is it a buffet?
It's a buffet. I can eat anytime I want. And room service. It's
Because
great.
when I go to the buffets, never fill up on bread.
No.
Go straight and find the seafood.
See, okay, let's talk about this, right?
Go for the most expensive stuff.
I have a technique. See, I went to a buffet with Jess. We went
Yeah.
to the Crown one. What's the Crown one?
Okay, that's all right.
It's really good. It's pretty good there.
That's all right.
And all the family members, like went with the Jess's family over there, and they're putting like the bread and the crackers and this and that. And the first thing I grabbed was like the whole lobster, and I put it on my plate.
They had lobster?
A lobster.
A crown?
A Crown.
How much did you pay for the...
I didn't pay, but I got their money's worth.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like I put a lobster and I get like the lamb and I get like all the meat straight
Yeah,
away and the
yeah.
prawns and stuff. Like,
Oysters with the oysters?
There were oysters,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah.
So I got the expensive stuff first. I sat down like, a lobster's what, like $70. So I just took it, and the crab, I took crab, beautiful.
Oh.
I don't know. And everyone's like, why are you starting with those first? I'm like, because this is, you're not paying for bread. Bread is nothing. They're paying for the expensive meats and the fine dining cuisine. And then Jess had chicken nuggets and
Boo.
Get that from Macca's.
and she went to the
I
dessert.
mean, don't get me
scene.
wrong. I like the bread rolls when you go out. But when it's a buffet,
No.
you get that
Your
last.
priorities
What?
immediately change.
What is
Yeah.
your
Buffet.
buffet technique? She said it was seafood first.
So my buffet technique is if they have got it in a way that they want you to like fill up on the food.
No,
If there's
you
like
got to do it the other way.
if there's a line, start whatever the last thing is. That's where you start.
Yeah.
because that's the most expensive.
Yep.
And they're hoping that by the time you get there, your plate's full, that
That's
you can't
right.
put much on. So I'm that annoying asshole that starts at the very end and goes backwards.
Yep.
And gets in everyone's way.
Yep.
But it's all right because I don't make it to the bread.
Okay. Question though: how rude are you? Do you only use one plate or do you get the 2?
Oh God! If it's a buffet, I'm getting 2.
See, I'm not at that.
Oh, hang on! I get 1 at a time.
Yeah, no. I mean, like, do you get like you don't get one plate, or you can pick up 2 and
Yeah.
fill up both,
Yeah, no, I just do 1.
just one at a time?
I'm
Like, so not
worried-
at
Is that
level.
a thing? I've never seen somebody actually pick up 2 plates.
Fill
up 2 plates?
I have seen it, but I'm not at that level of comfort yet to do that.
See, I'm worried that I would just spill it,
Yeah,
like trip, and then go
but just
fuck.
get some more. It's fine.
Right.
It's a buffet.
I feel like I do get it like either a second plate or a bowl so I can put all my crap from like the seafood
Yeah.
in there. Like, if I'm eating like an oyster, I want to put the shell away. I don't want to leave it on my plate because that might be my
Absolutely.
lamb curry might be there.
Hey, you ask the waiter to go get you one.
Yeah. Either way. What about you, Ryan? What's your buffet technique?
Oh, buffet technique. Obviously the meat first. I mean, why would you bother with the veggies? I mean, you can just get that out of the dirt outside. I mean,
Don't
it
mind
becomes an
veggies.
exclusive, pretty much like meat meal, a buffet?
Yeah.
Because meat's always the most expensive.
It always is.
Clearly, I'm just always thinking about how can I get my money's worth out of any of these situations.
We are.
Here.
We are. It's like the most
I'm very
savvy-
disappointed. When I went to Tokyo, there was a all-you-can-eat buffet. What are you doing?
I'm pointing at the beer.
Oh. Just started making these random hand gestures right in my face.
I didn't want
Tokyo.
to interrupt you while you're in your speech.
You did very well. Nailed it. And you can also get all you can drink.
Oh,
So
that's
my
good.
mates would go there. I was very disappointed I didn't go there this time, but they would pay for it and they literally wouldn't eat anything. They would fill up on booze. They wanted every bit of space to be taken up by alcohol.
Cool.
I just poured this into my scotch glass. Ladies and gentlemen, I just poured my Kilkenny, which is not a sponsor yet. We should contact them, into my glass that had a little bit of Bowmore scotch, which is not a sponsor yet, but we should contact them. So hopefully this combination tastes good because I like both of these things.
If Bowmore became your sponsor, I would be here every goddamn week.
I think I would be here every day producing content. It'd be fantastic. We should contact them.
We should. Tonight's episode is also sponsored by Cadbury Cookies Chocolate Chip. That is the soft centre inside. That's Cadbury Cookies Chocolate Chip.
Very impressive.
Yes.
Oh.
Right.
Do you want to hear a Trump update?
Trump
That's what I've
watch.
been waiting for.
The Trump
Trump
watch is
watch?
here, people.
And we can't have madmen out there shooting rockets all over the place. And by the way, Rocket Man should have been handled a long time ago. Little Rocket Man.
Actually, there is an app. It's called Prez on Press.
Yep.
But I can't spell it right. I've only tried once. But it's called Prez on Press.
Yep.
Or Press on Prez. Whatever it's called. One of those two. And you just get Trump updates.
That's fantastic. I got to get on this.
Trump updates.
So there's been some big news with Trump today and yesterday and this and that. So I'll talk about a few things. I've been trying to keep up, and because we haven't done a Trump watch update for a very long time.
It's been a while. And you know what? The more because I would sort of say I'm a little bit more to the left.
Yeah.
Right? But I've been forcing myself to watch right-wing media.
He's great. It's all over
And
the place.
I am so bloody impressed with Trump. And I thought I would never have said this.
He's a lot better than most people think. I think the left-wing media don't give him the respect he deserves, and I think the right-wing media give him far too much. There's a good, happy medium, but I'm going to tell you a few things that's going on with him.
And I was having an argument with someone else, and I was like, he's voted in. He was voted in by the people. You have to...
Not the majority of
Not
people.
the majority of
but-
people, but the majority of the electorate.
But people did vote for him, yes.
Yeah.
So
So,
he played the only game that mattered.
yeah, well, that's it.
The
Well,
Electoral College.
that's it. Welcome to winning the election properly. Actually, I heard Hillary Clinton today say, "Oh, I won the vote with the people make the most GDP in our country." I'm like, you didn't win Texas, lady. You did not win Texas. But nonetheless, a few things happened to Trump today. Officially, on after a 14-month investigation, a few government agencies, and separate agencies have made the decision that there was no Russian collusion with the electoral vote.
Oh.
Yeah,
So there was none.
zero.
He was with the FBI.
There was like 4 or 5 agencies working together.
Yeah.
And they decided, no Russian collusion at
Okay.
all within the Trump campaign. 14-month investigation. Billions, millions, and almost $1 billion spent. No collusion at all. Very exciting for Trump. But what's more exciting for Trump is that, I don't know if you've been seeing this, he's been a prostitute / porn star.
Oh, I saw this.
Yeah, there we go. This is the more exciting news. Has been saying that, I had an affair with him while he was with Ivanka. Oh, not Ivanka. Melania. Wrong person. She's both...
Awkward slip.
Both are hot though, so it's okay. Yeah, so she said that they had an affair, this and that, but apparently he paid for the sex.
Okay. Well, how is that an affair?
Well, I don't know. So,
Kieran is right. It's not an affair if you had to pay for it.
yeah, it's true.
He's paying
You're
for a
completely
service.
off the hook.
He's paying for a service. He received that
He
service.
was injecting a stimulus into the economy.
That's right.
Into one individual. Anyway, nonetheless,
Her name is Economy.
So BBC wrote this article, and the BBC is a pretty trustworthy news source. Occasionally, they're getting a bit more left-wing leaning at the moment, but nonetheless,
That is the British Broadcasting Corporation.
yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
So the article was called Stormy Daniels, which is the porn actress's name. Trump lawyer obtained restraining order. So Trump has now got a restraining order against Stormy Daniels, who is suing him for
Whatever she can
Yeah,
sue
exactly
him for.
right.
Yep.
But the great thing about this was, and it's pretty interesting. Nothing like I'll tell
I
you about
bet you
it.
Trump wakes up every morning and it's just like, so how many lawsuits do we have today?
Yeah,
And then someone's like, oh, you got 5 today. Okay.
It's like, all I want to know is the number getting smaller or higher?
I heard that you don't really run a successful business until you get sued. That's something I've heard before.
I can update you.
Yeah.
We've had one lawsuit.
Yes,
that
I
we
know.
only do
That's
on
how
Peak
successful
Podcast.
we are.
Yep.
I've got my best lawyer on it. Best lawyers. The best lawyers. But, so the article was, the headline was Stormy Daniels and then : Trump lawyer obtains restraining order. But the best thing about the first time I saw this, and when I was looking for it again to bring it in, that wasn't the headline that I saw. The headline I saw was Trump wins order to gag porn actress. And I'm like, I want to read this article. This sounds like the kind of article that I want to read. So, but it's basically he put a restraining order up against her because apparently she's been harassing him, and he doesn't want to have her contact him in any way. And there's a civil suit going on, but yeah, it's all good. But anyway, so in that sort of sense, he's gagging porn actresses and telling people, fuck you, Russia did not influence anything. And there was actually a really cool post today he did on Twitter and Facebook, all in caps, like a proper troll. And he was saying that there was no collusion whatsoever, which is really exciting. I think it's really good. Like, I think a lot of the American people are still stuck in that, Hillary should have won sort of thing. And I'm just like, just get over it.
Trump is the best thing that has happened to America.
It's heaps of fun.
And one of the reasons I say this is that if you want shit to change, and it doesn't matter if it's an organization or America,
Yeah.
you need chaos to happen first.
Oh, yeah.
What's the theory called? I can't remember.
Well, going on that.
But you need shit to happen. And it's making the left side of politics. They have to get their shit together.
Oh, yeah,
and they
yeah.
realize, and they're realizing that they can't generally go down the same pathway.
No.
And in fact, I've only watched a little bit, but politicians are now starting to answer more questions. They're actually in more depth rather than just talking to their talking points. Still talking on their talking points, but
far more directly, more than anything. And
Yeah.
that's what they're, instead of just having these long, like answers like Kieran does, he's just getting more direct answers.
right.
Well, there's no way that things could stay the same post-Trump. Like, things are going to either change dramatically for the better or for the worse, but there's no way things are staying the same.
Yeah, I'm very excited about the future. I mean, like,
will he win the second election?
Yeah, why not?
And then will
Why
he follow
couldn't he-
China's suit and saying, you know what? Let's get rid of these terms. Trump Unlimited.
So, question.
Yeah.
Who would be our Trump if we needed
Clive
a Trump?
Palmer. Look, if you guys
You've
haven't
thought about this. That was very immediate.
Stop. If you haven't checked out the Clive Palmer Facebook page, it is the funniest.
I get my updates on the page from Kieran.
Okay, good.
Oh, dude, I don't share it as much as I should.
It is
You've been
amazing.
quiet recently.
It is absolutely amazing. If we could get Clive Palmer onto the podcast, I would have a fucking field day because
Gauntlet Throne, if you're out there.
yeah, I feel like if he
Actually, even better, if any of our listeners know how to get into
Oh
Clive.
yeah.
Oh, that'd be very cromulent of them.
I would even have Clive Palmer's grog dog.
Is what?
He's got a dog and he calls the dog
grog.
grog
Grog. Yeah,
dog
yeah.
on the grog. And I would even have him on the podcast. Like that's how I think he's doing some great memes. And I don't know, he must have a team. He must be hiring a team of 20-year-olds to make memes for him because the quality that's coming out of his camp is absolute top band. He's got the Clive Palmer army.
The palmy?
The Palmy, yeah. And he's doing that. Anyway, if you haven't checked out Clive Palmer on Facebook, you don't have to like him.
I'm
But he's
shattered.
great.
He is not in politics anymore.
I think he wants to come back.
I think his party's still running for the next election. And I've got this, Ryan. Yeah, I've got this dilemma. The Reason Party is now recruiting for politicians.
Do it.
Apply.
Do it.
Do it.
Do it.
Because you've offered me a job on your staff.
Oh, I'm the
It's
finance
numerous
minister.
times. I'm waiting for you to cash in on this job.
I know. I'm doing the finance minister, wasn't I? Something like that.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Must be.
Some shit job.
Fair enough. Hey, last week we talked about how a person sued their parents for the terrible name that
Oh
they
yeah,
called
yeah. It
them.
was with Adam. Yeah.
It was what?
It was with Adam.
Yeah. Was that the week before? Anyway, new article. Parents in court for baby daughter's unusual name and told the judge they would pick a new one if they didn't.
So what was the name?
So it's a girl,
Yeah.
and the parents have decided that they wanted to call her Liam.
Liam.
Yes.
Liam.
Liam.
Which is a
Liam.
boy's name.
Yeah. And
How progressive are these parents?
it doesn't say.
Okay.
The French government had issue with the fact that they had picked a traditional boy's name for a girl. They were told it would likely create a risk of gender confusion. The prosecutors said the name was contrary to the interest of the child and could harm her in her social relations. I just think that they're aware of the previous court case of someone suing their parents at 17 years of age, saying, "You've traumatized me with having a terrible name."
I know a few Liams, and I can see it working.
Liam
as a
is a
female
terrible
name.
name.
It's a very effeminate name. Very effeminate men.
Liam's just a terrible name. I don't know any Liams that I've liked, so you know.
Because of this, the parents have postponed her baptism.
Well, there you go. That's really why you brought this in.
Also,
So you're telling me that if I name my child something shit, we have to postpone the baptism? Lady, she's single.
that's exactly what I would do. Parents have also been banned in France from calling their children Nutella, Strawberry, and Manhattan.
Nutella, Strawberry, and Manhattan.
Correct.
Those are pretty terrible names.
Craziest name you've ever heard?
The craziest name I've ever
Yeah.
heard. I'll tell you.
And I'm not talking porn stars.
No. The craziest name I've ever heard is always Frank Zappa's kids.
Yeah.
Because, I recently went to a Frank Zappa show, but his son now goes around and plays his stuff.
Yeah.
With a new band, and this has some old members and stuff like that. And his son's name is Dweezil. Dweezil. Dweezil.
Mm-hmm.
And
If you
he's
could ever sue your parents over a name, that's it.
Yeah. But the funny thing is, Frank Zappa wanted to name his child Dweezil. And the nurses wouldn't let him write that onto the birth certificate. So he named him like John or something like, what a generic, and put Dweezil as the middle name.
Mm-hmm.
And ever since they took him home, they always called him Dweezil.
Yeah.
And he found out when he was like 16 or 17 that on his birth certificate, his name wasn't actually Dweezil, and went to, like, what's it called, like the Department of Birth, Deaths and Marriages or whatever it is, and legally changed his name to Dweezil. So his name's actually now Dweezil. And I've seen him play multiple times, his dad's stuff. And if you haven't seen the Dweezil Zappa or Zappa Plays Zappa show, if it does come to your town, and you like Frank Zappa, or even if you don't like Frank Zappa, just like really cool guitar playing and really cool music, go check him out because he's fucking amazing. I did a masterclass with him too. Really cool.
With Dweezil.
With Dweezil.
Wow.
There's a photo with him, like, I was about this far away. I'm talking like 2-3 like a meter away from him. And I bought my guitar, and he showed me some really cool stuff. Maybe I'll take a video and put it up on Facebook of the stuff he showed me how to play. And
Yeah, absolutely.
that'd be really cool. But yeah, like I said, the Dweezil, Frank Zappa named his kids some weird stuff. I mean, there's Dweezil, there's Moon Unit, there's Armit, and I can't remember the other.
Forgot about Moon Unit.
How
How do you forget about Moon Unit?
I can't remember the other girl's name, but Armit and Dweezil and Moon Unit, the other girls' names, other boys and girls' names.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
I've got a movie.
name.
I've got a movie review.
You got a movie review?
I've got a movie review, but
All
it's
right.
not actually a movie. But I figured it needed the movie review criteria.
Mm-hmm.
I went in. Are you guys familiar with Jordan Peterson?
Yes.
So last 18 months has gained popularity, right?
It's really, you know what? He's a very down to earth. I think Niall was talking about him when he came onto the show. Very down to earth, interesting man. Very rational. I feel really reasonable.
I had a few issues with him.
Yeah. Of course. Oh, there's always something. But I think.
But no, you're right.
Yeah, very rational, very reasonable, very interesting to listen to.
And not what the left have been going on and bandwagging about him.
Oh, he's alt-right, isn't he?
I would actually say he's just
liberal.
He's just middle. Like
Yeah,
he's just centre.
he's
Like
pure
he's just,
centre.
He's just like.
It's a very down-to-earth facts and figures to a degree
If
guy.
you had
and
facts and figures, that would then change his opinion. He would change.
He
his
would
opinion,
change his opinion,
His
yeah.
opinion, because the new evidence says whatever it is.
Yeah, exactly.
Like that.
And that's it. He's been in the field, for 30, 40, 50 years, doing
Yeah.
research and really good studies.
And a very interesting man, and an actual person. I know this is we're going a little bit off track here. I'll admit that.
That's right.
But someone who I thought would be really good at critiquing the research that I did, which was subjective well-being.
Yeah.
Because no one has come out and given it a full critique, and I was like, he would be interesting.
Yeah.
Anyway, saw his talk, and I thought, you know what, let's review it. And I'm only going to give him 1.5 stars out of 5.
Out of 5, really?
Out of 5.
Leg room. Terrible, eh?
And the leg room, well,
Where was it?
hear me out. We went in to go see Jordan and with a couple of mates, and let's get some dinner beforehand. And we got some Vietnamese from a pop-up stand, pop-up thing, which was delicious with a pint of beer. So, you know what I mean? We're off to a good start. This guy's going to get 6 out of 5 stars. You know what I'm talking about? Anyway.
This rating system's the fucking worst. Haven't seen the show, had a good dinner, 6 out of 5. Are you sure you're not just reviewing the restaurant?
I had Goose, the beer, which was the first time. It was great. Then we had to go to the venue. Now, it was at the Melbourne Recital Centre.
Yep.
Apparently, if Niall's listening, you just walk up St Kilda Road and swing a right and you're there. But no, the person navigating me, Niall, had to take us
I'm not bleeping that out.
on a wild walk,
The scenic route.
this very, very scenic route, and we ended up at St Kilda Road, and then I actually got my phone out and was like, no, it's back here. Anyway, we're about 20 minutes late to the talk. Now, it started at 6:30, and I'm thinking, he's not going to be on. We're walking, we're a bit late. I'm like, no stress. He'll probably start at 7 or something like that because, you know, there's probably a person that's going to speak before him. No, he was on at like 6:30.
Unlike you, Kieran, people are on time.
We
Foreign concept.
We would have been on time if we didn't take the scenic route. Maybe like 5 minutes late, and that would have been like the moderator talking. So who cares? So they wouldn't let us in when we turned up because they're like, we've just let a whole bunch of people in. You're going to have to wait like another 10 minutes because we can't have people just going in and interrupting the crowd. All right, that's fair enough. So we're late, and I've missed a whole chunk of his talk. So now I'm a little bit annoyed. Right? So we're sitting.
But that's yours and Niall's fault.
That's not my fault. I wasn't the one directing.
It's Niall's fault.
That's Niall's fault.
Yeah.
I think it's your fault for not being able to control your own emotions, man. Get that shit in check.
You should make your bed.
Anyway, we were sitting there and we were watching him on the screen, but the sound was muffled, so it was really actually hard to hear him. Even though, I was like, it'll be interesting. We'll sit and watch him on the screen.
Yeah.
Sound was muffled, so he's not off to a good start. Anyway, we get in, and of course we're in the middle. So there's only there isn't a middle row. There's just the 2 rows at the end, like the left and the right, and we're in the middle, near the front, but not quite near the front, right?
Yeah.
And everyone, probably about 15 people, had to stand up for us to, make our way past them. And we're walking past. We're like, sorry. This lady goes, bunch of Americans.
Oh!
Right?
Oh,
and I was just
Kieran.
like, they're fucking Australians. We're not Americans. Anyway, I was
Hey,
with,
where's your Slim Dusty hat?
I was with my security guard, so I can see how that
Just because he's Irish does not mean he's a security guard.
And they're bigger than me, so they're my security guards.
And everyone's my security guard. I feel that I am so safe.
Anyway, we sit down. Now, luckily, the person next to me didn't hog the armrest. So I was able to hog the armrest, right? So that's why...
Luckily, the person next to me wasn't a prick, so that I could be a prick.
So I was able... So that's why we've gone up to 1.5 stars.
So how was the content?
Actually, what did I say? 2 stars? Anyway,
1.5.
Pardon?
1.5.
Yeah, good. 1.5. Right. So that was fine, but then Blaine nudged me halfway through the talk when I was listening to something, which lost my train of thought. And when we sat down, I actually didn't know.
Old, easily distracted Kieran.
And I didn't. When I sat down,
Doctor Kieran, to you.
Yeah, that's right. Get my title right.
Oh, congratulations.
No, I haven't graduated yet.
Not doctor then.
Yeah.
Almost doctor.
That's right.
Just D Kieran. No R yet.
Yeah. What? Yeah. So we sit down and he's on some train of thought or whatever. So I start looking up at the roof and the lights and it was all right, you know. Anyway, get at some point and I pay attention. And then some of the things he said, look, really interesting points. And I did learn some things.
Yeah.
But I had to say, like, I had at the end, you know, they're like, oh, what did you think? And I had to go, you know what? I've spent the last 10 years in the field of psychology. This stuff that he's talking about isn't really news to me.
Yeah,
He's probably just articulate, and I didn't really know who the guy was before I went.
Yeah.
I sort of knew, but I was like, oh, I don't know who he is. And he's just got a very good way of probably articulating it.
Yeah, that's right.
And putting it into a story and a bit of a narrative. But he does, at some points, contradict himself.
Oh, yeah.
And there are some where he talks about fallacies, and it's like, you're using that fallacy. I would love to have a conversation with him. I'd love to have an in-depth conversation.
I'd be happy to have him on the show.
And absolutely. And the one thing, because this is my crutch, where it's like, I know about subjective well-being and I know happiness because I've worked with the experts and this is my field and I know this shit. And then when he starts talking about like happiness, I'm like, you're wrong. You're wrong.
I'll send him a message. He's actually pretty good from what I can tell. Like, he's been on a few shows to understand, but he's actually quite good at responding to people, especially on email and Facebook and stuff like that. So send him something.
But he is, I would actually recommend, if you haven't seen him or his talks, probably worthwhile checking out because he's probably,
He's very accessible psychology. That's what I feel it is.
He's interesting thing talking about the gender pay gap.
Fantastic.
Right, and that is because I never really gave the gender pay gap some thought. And he's talking about things like it's a factor, it's not the most causal factor. We have to do like the look at the variance, and we have to look at the contributing factors. And I'm like, you know what? That's exactly how
proper studies are done.
Proper studies are done, and look at those things. And I go, he knows his shit when he talks about.
Well, no, I get. Like, you know, I say these things about gender wage gaps and this and that. Look, I'm not saying that there isn't a wage gap. And I've said this for a while, but it's not, 29-30% what people are saying. Because if it was 29 or 27% or something like that, no company would hire a bloke. Because if they could charge 30% less on wages, no company would hire someone that they'd have to pay 30% more.
Yeah.
Like, I'm coming from an accounting background, I've never seen any proper studies that say, like from economists, are saying, yeah, it's real. People go, yeah, there's a gap because of these reasons. But if you take, like Jordan Peterson's sort of saying, if you take out these reasons,
gender is not the biggest contributor to the pay gap.
It's education. It's time spent in the workforce. It's the type of job people are doing.
There's a number of factors.
There's so many factors. You know, it's like anything. Like, you know, yeah, I'm an accountant, but I don't have my. You know, I started my CPA, and that was bullshit. Stopped it. But someone that has a CPA as an accountant's going to make more than me. You know, because they've got an additional qualification that says to an employer, hey, they can do certain things that I can't. you know. But if you have a degree in arts and there's a person with a degree in accounting and it's for an accounting job, who's going to get the job?
Oh, it depends how well you sell yourself.
Oh, there's that as well, you know.
How
But
well
finally,
you sell-
and there's that other study, I think, the Melbourne.
Chip in here, by the way, Ryan.
I know. I'm just.
Well, you know what?
I've been feeling so much out of my depth right now.
Ryan's looking at the light.
I was not expecting this highbrow kind of conversation.
Well, there's always the biggest thing for me because like coming from a musician's background, like being a musician as well as doing finance and stuff like that. Like a good musician is a good musician, and like
I am an excellent music appreciator.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, well, yeah. But like for me, like a good musician's a good musician, right? And we were watching I was watching a documentary with Jess called Hired Guns. I highly recommend it. It's like a fantastic documentary about, like, let's say, like, think of a guy like Bon Jovi or Alice Cooper. Like, they don't have a band they've had from the 60s. They've got a band that's got a continuously rotating lineup of these people called hired guns. And one of the people that Alice Cooper has at the moment is this female named Nita Strauss. And I knew her because I just knew that she was a fucking ripper of a guitarist. She's about to have she just got a signature model Ibanez, and she's fucking fantastic. And on top of that, she's very attractive. But I was looking, watching this documentary. I'm like, oh, Jess, that's Nita Strauss, like hitting her, And she goes, how do you know her? She goes, oh, because she's hot. And I go, no, I just know her because she's a great guitar player. Like, I haven't seen a photo of her until we watched the documentary. I just knew the name and I heard her guitar playing. And she's phenomenal, like really phenomenal. Very underrated, in my opinion. And Prince, so I think at the end of the day, your work itself is far more important than your gender. And that's all goes back to this female, this wage gap that people talk about. My question is, what's the wage gap between all the 65 million genders that there are now? Who's doing the study for that? Because I've heard that there's more genders than just the male and the female. I want to know I need the stats before I make my decision about anything.
Oh, that's to do that research. You'll be waiting the next 15 years.
Well, that's not good.
Yeah.
I'm very impatient.
You'll be waiting the next 15 years. This is why I'm getting out of universities, because they're so slow.
It's not work for the government.
They've got their place, but they're so slow.
Just bogged
Ryan-
down in that bureaucracy, yeah?
Yeah, maybe I should enter government.
Well, you want more bureaucracy.
Like, geez, the universities are too slow. Let's get into government. Make some real changes.
Universities are government organisations. They're just federal instead of state.
So I had to work on Monday. No, but being a minister's fine. You could have dinners, you could have lunches.
Being a minister, you're pretty much set for life.
Yeah. Do your 8 years, get retirement.
I was going to say, good super.
Yeah.
Good super.
Why wouldn't you? I mean, there's obviously, the public scrutiny. They don't get paid enough, I reckon.
You know what? And we'll go back
And I'm saying that because I want to enter politics.
We go back to the Trump thing, right? And they talk about they get a lot of scrutiny under the media and this that. But I think that politicians understand that if they go into politics, or someone goes into politics, they understand that they're going to be under scrutiny all the time. And I think they've accepted that. And I think it's really important that anyone going into politics
And I
or into
think
a job.
I think for that reason, that's a reason, but I think for that reason they should be paid a shit ton of money.
Oh, yeah.
Because
I'm happy with that.
You don't have a private life. Like, it's really hard. You make one fuck up, and that could cost you your career.
Also, that Barnaby Joyce whole thing,
Right?
But I think it's an ebb and flow kind of thing, right? I think that, see, I think Australian politicians are shit, and they're shit because, one, the parties are exactly the same, in my opinion. The two top parties, Liberal and Labor, it's the same, in my opinion. But secondly, none of them know how to work the media, and their media communications department don't understand what they can do with the media, at the moment. And this is why Clive Palmer, I think, is getting such support, because he's putting out some memes, he's doing the jokes, he's having some fun with people and stuff. And I think that's why Trump his ratings are going up because people go, hey, you know what though? I don't like everything he's saying, but he's pretty funny.
And a lot of what he's doing is actually engaging with the public.
Exactly right. And
When you
using
actually
social
engage the
media.
public, you're going to get them on your side.
Yeah, exactly right. And social media is a very powerful platform, you know. And I think that's why he's not doing as many press conferences as he used to, because he can just go, I could send out a tweet and, you know, not even Americans.
I can't get over that all of a sudden, it hasn't happened yet, but he's going to be meeting Kim Jong-un.
Oh, isn't that the greatest thing ever? Like, Obama, in 8 years of his presidency, couldn't do it. And Trump, who calls him... I'm not calling
Little
him...
Rocket Man.
Yeah, Little Rocket Man.
Rocket Man.
Is going to fucking meet up with him. Isn't it the greatest thing? Oh,
And I'm thinking,
I think
glad.
it's going to be live. I would watch that live. I would
Oh,
take
it's just
work
so
off to
good.
watch that live.
and I'm thinking, there's going to be a nuclear war. We're all fucked.
I called it. I said to... I was talking to Jess. Jess was like, oh, see this guy. You know what's going to happen? They're going to meet up and have a chat. Because that's...
They're going to have beers.
They're going to have beers, yeah. Because... That's what would happen with me. Like, if a guy was giving me some shit, calling me some names, we'd go, you know what? I can't be bothered bombing the shit. I'll just go meet with him and have a couple of beers. Because I reckon they're going to be mates.
I'd love for it to be like Step Brothers. Did we just become
Yeah.
best friends?
Yes!
That's going to do karate in the garage?
Yep! Yeah!
Actually, here's the idea. Don't publish this, right? Because this is we've got a film guru here. We've got to beat Hollywood to it. We've got to make the Trump Kim Jong-un blockbuster.
What? You mean the interview?
No, but they're actually like friends and they drink beer together.
So
Oh,
like the
yeah.
interview, but not the part of the end where he suddenly has to try and kill him.
Yeah,
That
Yeah.
whole friendship part where
Yeah.
they're like blowing shit up with the
I'm
tank.
thinking more like Step Brothers.
yeah. Oh, that's-
Like Step Brothers meets the interview.
yeah. So basically, the opposite of Team America World Police.
Yes.
But like I said, I don't think the Australian politicians understand the media to the way that they probably should. And I'll go back to Italian politics. I don't know if you've seen Berlusconi recently, who is the
Berlusconi.
greatest... You know what?
He's back!
He's back, baby. And I don't know
Can we
if
have
someone-
Berlusconi watch?
Oh,
Hang on,
you know what? Do you want a Berlusconi watch? I've got so many stories.
I'll give you a Berlusconi watch sound clip right now.
Pew, 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 pew. All right. So, the first time I heard about Berlusconi, this is from my nonno. So I'm sitting with him with the TV and he's telling me about Berlusconi. And funnily enough, despite the fact that he's not a great politician, he's loved by everyone in Italy.
Mm-hmm.
From what I understand anyway. So I was watching the TV and I don't know if you know about the bunga bunga parties. It's basically he would invite a whole bunch of prostitutes over and have some fun times.
Do you know how I know about Bunga Bunga?
Me?
Mick Malloy on
Yeah.
Triple M.
Oh. So basically, Berlusconi's talking, and it's for me, like, I can understand some Italian, but I can't understand a lot of it, especially when they're speaking really quickly, and the Italians speak a lot of dialect, and I can't pick it up all the time, but my nonno can. So I'm sitting there with the guy.
That's because he's Italian.
Yeah, he was born and bred there, you know, this and that.
That's just, I'm clarifying for our American,
Yeah, of
our
course,
American listeners.
Of course. And my nonno starts laughing. I go, Nonno, can you tell me what's going on? And he goes, yeah, sure. Berlusconi just said that I didn't have sex with 14 prostitutes that night. It was 17 prostitutes.
What kind of man do you take me for?
And then there was another time I went over there and Berlusconi was also doing a talk and this and that. And I'm like, no, what's going on? He goes, Berlusconi just said that the 17-year-old prostitute, yes, she was underage, but she's a prostitute and I paid her. That's her job.
I did hear that one.
So he's one of my favorite politicians because he also owns, I think, like 80 to 90% of the Italian media. And last time I heard of him, he was going to court and he basically said to the judge, if you put me in jail, there'll be a riot, because he also not only owns the media, but all the mafia's behind him. Anyway, so
brilliant.
he's back, and he just did some, like, he wants to go into politics again, but basically he means he's going to get enough people behind him and give it off to the person that he wants to be in power. And a whole bunch of topless feminist, you know, activists came up to him, shirts off, or, you know, and I implore everyone to go watch the footage because Berlusconi pretty much looks at the tits and goes, yeah, like that face of, not bad, and just keeps walking. Like, not phased at all. Just looks at the tits and goes, not bad. Keeps walking
Thank you
on.
for making my day.
Yeah. Not bad.
Breaking news.
Breaking news.
He's got his own film.
Berlusconi.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm in.
Here is the first glimpse of the Italian Berlusconi film. 18 hours ago. This was released.
Wow.
This is hot off the press.
I'll tell you what. Another quick story is that there's the left wing of Italy like the EU and the right wing don't, and the right wing sort of conservative party there have just come out and said, fuck the EU, if you vote us in power we'll leave the EU, and they're actually getting lots of support, which is really good because I think the EU has sort of screwed up a lot of economic sort of policy this now. It did get Italy out of a bad time when they had like the lira and stuff like that, but Italy's got to leave the EU.
I've known nothing about it, so I can't make any comment.
Well,
Ryan?
I only know a lot because my nonno keeps going, we're going to leave, you know, so...
Let's go
He
over
just
to
sits
our,
there going, that fucking EU.
Oh, he just...
let's go over to our foreign correspondent, Ryan, for an in-depth analysis.
Oh, I am definitely not your foreign correspondent. This year is going to be the first year I finally go past my Asia barrier. That's been like my hard barrier all my life. I haven't gone past it.
I've only got... Europe's my barrier. I haven't been to America,
Not saying
yes.
like by explicit
basically-
choice. Not saying like, oh, I don't want to go past it.
Can I interpret this to our Outback listeners? Basically, what you're saying, and to Americans, that's Australian Outback, what you're saying is, this is the first time you've gone past Alice Springs for a holiday. Like you might be going up to Darwin. That's what you're saying.
Like, as a comparison?
Yeah,
Like,
Alice Springs is Asia, and Darwin is Europe.
yes. Let's go with that.
Yeah.
Does that make Perth America?
Yeah, I guess so. It's probably Antarctica.
I just have to have... This is the most breaking news. Do you know my friend Kane Nelson?
Even more breaking than the Berlusconi film.
7 minutes ago.
Oh, shit.
So, last time I met him, I saw him at the Dweezil's Apple
You
show.
might have to bleep his name out.
No, he'll be... I'll promote the shit out of him.
Okay.
He's just been selected as one of the top 100 bartenders in Australia. And he's just released his drink, which is available now at the restaurant Longrain in the city. But it's called the Royal Charge. It's a quirky take on a Thai iced coffee, incorporating elements of a famous Royal Thai appetizer. And it includes Johnny Walker espresso roast, reduced Thai Oling coffee, peanut butter, 5-spice palm sugar caramel, tamarind paste, coriander seed and salt. And he does a whole bunch of magic to it and makes this beautiful cocktail. Look at that. I think we
wow.
might have to
That's
go
a
down.
beautiful
I'm
looking
going to
thing.
promote the shit out of him because I met up with him and he told me, and I want to celebrate the.
I don't
absolute
always
fuck.
get sexually aroused by the
That's
sight
really
of a
good.
drink, but
That's a really nice. So, Kane Nelson, shout out to you, mate, because that's fucking amazing and I can't wait to try it.
did you say Johnny Walker espresso roast?
That-
Like, is that a type of Johnny Walker?
I guess so.
I just thought you said Johnny Walker and then espresso roast. Thinking
No, it's apparently Johnny Walker espresso roast. Apparently, that's one of the things that's in his thing. So,
bloody hell.
yeah, that's what it says in there. There you go. So, we'll have to go down and try it.
I think we need it for the final episode of the season. When is the final episode? How many do we have left?
So, the final episode we'll be recording not next week, but the week after.
Yeah.
Because then I'm on my cruise. But you'll have to be editing that episode, I'm afraid.
Oh
I'm trying to chat to this.
By the way, there will be, we only do one take podcast, live, unedited.
Do you want to do that? All right. Well, we'll get.
As a CEO, I don't edit.
Ryan has kindly agreed to bring some video equipment. Maybe we can live stream it too.
There you go.
Yeah, absolutely. Why not?
Why not? So that'll be not next week, the week after, on a Tuesday night, because we do record these on a Tuesday night. Here's a secret for all you lovely people out
Oh,
there.
they're peeking behind the curtain too much.
And sometimes on a
You
Monday.
gotta keep that mystery.
Sometimes on a Monday, sometimes on a Wednesday.
And once we've also filmed 2 in 1 week and we've had the week off.
And no one ever knows, yes. So,
I thought your news was a bit stale.
that's Kieran. Kieran, another fantastic episode under our belt, from everywhere from The Simpsons to Berlusconi to Trump to
The Bible.
the Bible to Facebook to everything and everything in between. Thank you so much for another fantastic episode.
And thank you to our guest, Mr. R Pow from
Thank you for having me.
Trudgeon Town.
Just remember, anytime you want to get me on the show, just get me drunk beforehand and,
That's very easy to
and
do,
rope
I
me
think.
into it.
Now he knows that there's a Bowmore scotch here. I think
Oh
he
yeah,
might be...
if there's a bottle here every week, I'm there.
It's not bad. If people
Not bad!
It's not. No,
Didn't even finish it. I'm finishing.
I mixed it with my beer accidentally.
No, I wasn't talking about the scotch. I was
Yeah.
talking about the we get cheese, we have biscuits, we have beer, we have scotch.
It's a good spread.
It's a great podcast.
Oh, that's
This is why we're in debt.
That's true.
This is why the podcast is in debt.
Yes. But hopefully we'll have a cool guest next week. I'm working on that. But
Quick
if not-
update.
Yep.
Where are we up with our stats?
Oh, do you want to have a quick gander?
A quick gander.
I did
Show me the numbers.
as of today, we have 925 total listens.
Do you know what? Next week when we record, we'll be over 1,000.
You reckon it'll be over 1,000?
We'll be over 1,000.
And I want to congratulate Adam LaRosa because his episode is the most listened to episode out of all of our episodes ever. In 2 weeks, it's had over 80 listens.
There you go.
That's amazing. So we'll have to tag him in this as well because he'll share the shit out of it again. He did
What-
some really good.
What's the first episode on? How many?
First episode, let me just quickly scroll up here if I can see. It is on 74. So he like destroyed it by another a whole bunch of listens. So he's done really, really well in like 2 weeks. I always tell people not to listen to the first episode to get a taste of it because I re-listened to it today and I'm like, oh, it's not as good as the latest episodes.
It's like watching the pilot episode of your
Yeah,
favorite
yeah.
show.
So
I
I would-
just watched the first episode of Game of Thrones again the other day because I decided I'd start from the start again.
Bad choice.
No, not so much bad, but you definitely notice a difference because
Yeah.
like they got just a ridiculous budget now.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
you just don't quite feel it. In
Well,
that
we
first
don't have a
episode.
ridiculous budget now, but it sounds and the flow is a lot better, and it's just a lot better now.
Season 2.
Season 2 is going to be
There will-
exciting.
there
It's going
will
to
be-
start with a bang.
There will be a website.
There will be a website. That's Kieran's job.
Yeah,
CEO's job.
This is why we're on break. This is my job, and we will have a Patreon account because we're going to have some bonus extra material.
Yes. Which Ryan would love to have you a part of.
Oh,
It includes some really cool stuff we'll tell you later on. But nonetheless, Kieran, thank you so much for another special, fantastic
thank you,
episode.
gentlemen.
Ryan, R Pow, thank you so much for coming down on very short notice on a very drunken whim of an invitation. And ladies and gentlemen, we'll see you next Thursday.
I'm going to go take a shit.
Ah.